Mayawati, born the 15th of January 1956, is an Indian politician who served 4 terms as Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. She is the national president of the Bahujan Samaj Party, which focuses on a platform of social change to improve the weakest strata of Indian society. The Bahujans are Dalits, other backward classes, and religious minorities. She was chief minister briefly in 1995 and again in 1997, then from 2002 to 2003 and from 2007 to 2012. Mayawati's rise from humble beginnings has been called a miracle of democracy by P.V. Narasimha Rao, a former Prime Minister of India. In 1993, Kanchi Ram formed a coalition with the Samajwadi Party and Mayawati became the youngest Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh in 1995. She was the first female Dalit Chief Minister in India. In 1997 and in 2002 she was Chief Minister in outside support of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the second time only for a year up to the 26th of August 2003 due to BJP withdrawing support. Mayawati's tenure has attracted praise and controversy. Millions of Dalits view her as an icon, and refer to her as Bahan Ji. She has been praised for her fundraising efforts on behalf of her party, and her birthdays have been widely celebrated by her supporters. The rise in her personal wealth and that of her party have been criticized as indicative of corruption. In 2008, Forbes added Mayawati in the 59th place on its list of the 100 most powerful women in the world. She appeared in Newsweek's Top Woman Achievers list in 2007. Newsweek also described her as the Barack Obama of India, and a potential candidate for Prime Minister. Time magazine included Mayawati in India's 15 most influential list for 2007. After losing the 2012 Legislative Assembly elections to the rival Samajwadi Party, she resigned from her post as party leader on the 7th of March 2012. Later that month she was elected by acclamation to a seat in the Rajya Sabha. Early life and education. Mayawati was born on the 15th of January 1956 at Shrimati Sucheta Kriplani Hospital, New Delhi, in a Hindu Dalit family. Her father, Prabhu Das, was a post office employee at Badalpur, Gautam Buddha Nagar. The sons in the family were sent to private schools, while the daughters went to low-performing government schools. Mayawati studied for her B.A. in 1975 at the Kalindi College and obtained her LLB from the Campus Law Centre, part of the University of Delhi. She completed a B.Ed. from VMLG College, Ghaziabad, in 1976. She was working as a teacher in Indapuri JJ Colony, Delhi, and studying for the Indian Administrative Services exams, when Dalit politician Kanchi Ram visited her family home in 1977. According to biographer Ajoy Bose, Ram told her, "I can make you such a big leader one day that not one but a whole row of IAS officers will line up for your orders." Quote. In 1983, Mayawati was awarded her LL.B. from Delhi University. Impressed by her speaking skills and ideas, Kanchi Ram included her as a member of his team when he founded the Bahujan Samaj Party in 1984. Mayawati was first elected to Parliament in 1989. Early political career. Kanchi Ram founded the BSP in 1984. Influenced by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chief architect of the Constitution of India, the party's primary focus is to improve the situation of Dalits and other disadvantaged groups through police reform, affirmative action on hiring of members of scheduled castes for government posts, and providing rural development programs. Reservation in India is a system whereby a percentage of government positions and seats at universities are reserved reserved for persons of backward classes, and scheduled castes and tribes. Throughout her political career, Mayawati supported reservation in both government and private sectors for backward classes, with an increase in quotas and inclusion of more communities such as religious minorities and economically weak upper castes. In August 2012, a bill was cleared that starts the process of amending the constitution so that the reservation system can be expanded to promotions in state jobs. Mayawati's career has been called a miracle of democracy by former Prime Minister of India P.V. Narasimha Rao. Millions of Dalit supporters view her as an icon and refer to her as Bahujan Ji. Her public meetings have been attended by large audiences, who use slogans such as Kanchi Ramkar Mission Adhora, Karegi Bahan Mayawati Pura, and Bahenji Tum Sangharsh Karo, Hum Tumhare Saath Hain. In its first election campaign in 1984, BSP fielded Mayawati for the Lok Sabha seat of Kairana in the Muzaffarnagar district, for Bina in 1985, and for Haridwar in 1987. In 1989 she was elected as the representative for Bina, with 183,189 votes, winning by 8,879 votes. Although BSP did not win control of the House, the electoral experience led to considerable activity for Mayawati over the next 5 years, as she worked with Masud Ahmed and other organizers. The party won 3 seats in the 1989 national election and 2 seats 1991. Mayawati was first elected to the Rajya Sabha of Uttar Pradesh in 1994. In 1995 she became, as head of her party, chief minister in a short-lived coalition government, the youngest chief minister in the history of the state up until that point, and the first female Dalit chief minister in India. She won election to the Lok Sabha in 2 different constituencies in 1996 and chose to serve for Haryana. She became chief minister again for a short period in 1997 and then from 2002 to 2003 in coalition with the Bharatiya Janata Party. In 2001 Ram named her as his successor to the party leadership. BSP President She, on 15 December 2001, in an address during a rally in Lucknow, Kanchi Ram named Mayawati as his successor. She was elected national president of the BSP for her first term on 18 September 2003. She was elected unopposed for a second consecutive term on 27 August 2006, and for a third term on 30 August 2014. Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. As the Chief Minister, Mayawati gained a reputation for efficient governance and promoting law and order, winning praise even from opposition parties and others. In 2007, MLA Umakant Yadav of her own political party, accused in a land-grabbing case, was arrested near her dwelling on her orders. During September to October 2010, at the time of the IODU verdict, her government maintained law and order and the state remained peaceful. Several high-profile criminals and mafia dons were jailed during her terms in office. She called for strong anti-rape laws. Fewer riots, rapes, and corruption occurred during her tenure as compared to previous successive governments. In the 2007 to 2012 Assembly, only 124 MLAs were Crore-Pati as compared to 271 Crore-Pati in successive Assembly elected in 2012. Mayawati first served as Chief Minister from 3 June 1995 to 18 October 1995. During this term, the new districts of Ambedkar Nagar District and Udham Singh Nagar District were created. Her second term was from 21 March 1997 to 20 September 1997. a drive under her government allotted Patas a gram Sabha lands on lease to thousands of landless residents. In April 1997, she created Gautam Budh Nagar district from the district of Ghaziabad. Kaushambi district was separated from Allahabad district, and Jyotiba Phule Nagar district from Moradabad district. In May 1997, Mahamaya Nagar district was created out of Aligarh district, and Banda district was split into Banda and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Nagar. Mayawati carried out review meetings with bureaucrats and suspended 127 officers. Her third term was from the 3rd of May 2002 to the 26th of August 2003. More than 900 officers of IAS, IPS, and PCS cadres were shifted when Mayawati took over as the chief minister. This impacted the chief secretary, secretaries, commissioners, district magistrates, and police officials. She suspended 12 IAS officers for laxity in carrying out development projects in the regions, including divisional commissioners and district magistrates. 6 IPS officers were suspended for failing to maintain law and order, while 24 officers were warned to improve. She started Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Medical University and 511-acre Gautam Buddha University. She suspended 3 senior officials after review in a couple of administrative divisions. 2007 state and 2009 general election. Uttar Pradesh, India's most populous state and one of its poorest, is considered pivotal in the politics of India because of its large number of voters. BSP won a majority in the 2007 Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections, fielding candidates from a variety of castes and religions. The campaign was accompanied by a colourful slogan, Hathi Nathan Ganesh Hain, Brahma Vishnu Mahesh Hain. The elephant is really the Lord Ganesha, the trinity of gods rolled into one. The new slogan invited everyone, including the higher castes, to come ride the elephant, her party's election symbol. The BSP won 20 seats in Lok Sabha from the state of Uttar Pradesh in the 2009 elections, obtaining the highest percentage of votes for any political party in the state. The party placed third in terms of national polling percentage. Fourth term, 2007-12, BSP absolute majority. Mayawati was sworn in as Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh for the 4th time on the 13th of May 2007. She announced an agenda that focused on providing social justice to the weaker sections of society and providing employment instead of distributing money to the unemployed. Her slogan was to make Uttar Pradesh into Uttar Pradesh. Her government began a major crackdown on irregularities in the recruitment process of police officers recruited during the previous Mulayam Singh government. Over 18,000 policemen lost their jobs for irregularities in the hiring, and 25 Indian police service officers were suspended for their involvement in corruption while recruiting the constables. Mayawati instituted reforms to introduce transparency into the recruiting process, including posting the results of selection exams online. On the 10th of August 2007, the Mayawati government introduced 30% reservation in jobs in the private sector. A quota for promotions was also introduced but was later quashed by the Supreme Court of India. In September 2007, Bhimrao Ambedkar Rural Integrated Development Program was started for the integrated development of over 17,000 gram sabhas across the state. The Dr. Ambedkar Gram Vikas Yojana scheme was launched for provisioning of essential services like water, electricity, and roads in Dalit-dominated villages. Under this scheme, 24,716 villages received improvements during her 4 tenures. 2,000 villages were chosen in the first phase during 2009-10 for intensive development work. 800 crore rupees were sanctioned for the development of roads, 260 crore rupees to construct community centers, and 10,000 Dalit villages were provided solar sodium streetlights. Government reserved 21% quota for scheduled castes and 2% for scheduled tribes in contracts for construction work worth up to 5 rupees, lakh each of various authorities and corporations in the state. In 2008, Mayawati launched Manyawa Kancharamji Shariga Arab AWA's Yojana, a scheme for building low-cost housing colonies for urban poor, with 90,000 low-cost homes under the first round of construction in different towns and cities across the state, while a second and a third round were still underway when government ended in 2012 and next government scrapped the scheme, including cutting down electricity of these colonies. Mayawati government started efforts to set up grid-based solar power plants with the help of private sector, and first 5 megawatt solar power plant located in Naini of Allahabad district started functioning on March 2012 and was developed by EMC Limited. Government signed a MOU with NTPC Limited for 1,320 MW power plant. In December 2007, Chief Minister Mayawati dedicated a 210 megawatt unit No. 4 of Paracha thermal power station in Jhansi district, built at a cost of 1,750 crore rupees, for 132 kV and 33 kV power transmission substations built in Faizabad, Puwayan and Gango, while she also laid the foundation stones for the 500 MW Paracha thermal power project and 500 MW Harduaganj power station in Bulandshahr district, to be built at a combined cost of 3,800 crore rupees and of 8 transmission substations of 132 kV and 220 kV capacity, which would be constructed at Noida, Greater Noida, Varanasi, Jhansi in Saharanpur at cost of 600 crore rupees. She also aimed for 500 megawatts units of Paracha and Harduaganj to begin production by 2010 so that there would be no scarcity of electricity. Mayawati's dream project of 165 kilometers 6-lane Yamuna Expressway connected Delhi to Agra through Noida Greater Noida Expressway, touching 1,182 villages in the state. Later, Indian Air Force fighter jet Dasu Mirage 2000 test landed on Yamuna Expressway as part of trials. On 15 January 2008, Mayawati laid the foundation stone 1,047 km Ganga Expressway at the cost of 30,000 crore rupees for joining Balia in the far east of the state to Greater Noida. In November 2009, Mayawati dedicated Noida Metro, constructed at the cost of 557 crore rupees. She had vigorously proposed for construction of Jua Airport near Noida. In October 2011, Mayawati government under public-private partnership with JP Group successfully executed and delivered first F1 Indian Grand Prix, an international event at Bod International Circuit, Greater Noida, constructed by JP Group. The event was hailed as flawlessly conducted, salvaging some of India's prestige when compared to minor embarrassments in 2010 Commonwealth Games, conducted in Delhi. Mayawati presented the winning trophy to winner Sebastian Vettel. Foreigners found the track as impressive, and 3 Indian teenagers picked by F1 panel to train them as future Formula One drivers in Europe. Mayawati has seen through to completion of several memorials dedicated to icons of Bahujan Samaj built first time in India, including the Mayawati Kancharamji Green Eco Garden, the Rashtriya Dalit Prerna Stall and Green Garden, and the Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar Samajik Parivartan Pratik Stall. Mayawati during her tenure directed all the commissioners and the district magistrates to distribute 3-acre land pieces of pattas to weaker sections of society by launching special drive for illegal possessors of pattas be dispossessed of them and the eligible poor be identified by regular monitoring of pattas and strict action against the mafias and middlemen through spot verification of different development and public welfare programs. She also took steps to ensure possession of land to the genuine people, taking strong view on encroachment of land allotted to members of scheduled castes and tribes. In 2010, 5,596 people belonging to the SC and Sindh communities were allotted 1,054.879 hectares of agriculture land. In a special drive, 74 FIRs were filed and 88 people were arrested for illegal occupation from agricultural land. Sugar Information Service, a model website supported by SMS and IVRS facility, was developed and adopted by all 116 operational sugar mills, was started by the government as the largest rural information technology platform in the country, providing a password-protected web page for each of the 30 lakh odd farmers. Mayawati, as her dream project, constructed 4 affordable institutions: Mahamaya Balika Inter College in Sector 44 Noida, Panchsheel Balak Inter College in Sector 91 of Noida, Savitri Bai Phule Balika Inter College in Kashta, and Gautam Budh Balak Inter College at Knowledge Park 5 in Greater Noida at a total cost of 600 rupees crore, having high-tech classrooms with facilities like projectors and electronic screens, laboratories, well-equipped libraries, air-conditioned blocks, elevators, hostels, staff housing complexes, auditoriums and sport complexes. These charge very nominal tuition fees at 290 rupees for classes I to 8, 490 rupees for classes IX and X, and 700 rupees for classes She and 12, and registered a 100% pass percentage with a number of 10 CGPAs in the CBSE Class 10. Results: in 2008, her government established Dr. Shakuntala Misra, a national rehabilitation university for the physically challenged students. Mayawati dedicated the 63.5 crore rupees 286-bed super specialty centenary hospital in Lucknow and 50-bed critical care unit at CSMMU. Mayawati, in 2007, launched 500 crore rupees Manyawarkancharam Multi-Speciality Hospital in Greater Noida, which started its OPD services in April 2013. Mayawati government also spent 510 crore rupees on Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Multi-Speciality Hospital in Sector 30 of Noida. Mayawati government started food tracking system to track midday meal scheme to cross-check if children get the hot meal in schools. There is a software-based SMS system, where the school principal and a few parents received an automatic message the day less than 50% or a large number of school children were served midday meal, and this SMS was generated on basis of information on midday meal feed by teacher in charge of the scheme into an online monitoring system, though principal was required to give an explanation through SMS and parents to verify the claim. This system inspired UPA-led centre government for starting it nationwide. Her government also instituted Sant Ravidas Kala Samman Award in an an effort to promote cultural activities in the field of art with a cash prize of 1.25 lakh rupees. Under Savitribai Phule Baliga Shiksha Madad Yojana, Mayawati distributed over 10 lakh bicycles among Muslim and poor school girls from 2008 to 2011. The nominal gross domestic product of Uttar Pradesh grew at an annual rate of 8 to 12% between 2002-03 and 2006-07. When Mayawati began her 5-year tenure as Chief Minister from May 2007, the average annual state GDP growth rate between 2007-08 and 2010-11 shot up to 17%. In financial year 2011, UP's state GDP was predicted to grow by 11%. Thus, UP's nominal GDP growth in these 4 years was almost the same as what the entire country clocked in that period. State's per capita income went up by 136% from about 11,000 rupees in 2007 to 26,000 rupees in 2011. UP continued to be one of the few states with a revenue surplus, and Mayawati has used this surplus to reduce the state's fiscal deficit from 4% of state GDP in 2007-08 to a budgeted figure of 2.97% for the financial year 2011. Mayawati also ensured that the state's indebtedness came down from 43% of state GDP in 2007-08 to 32% in 2011-12. Mayawati in her 5 years added about 4,000 megawatts of generation capacity to the state's power sector. Mayawati also planned to create 7,000 megawatts more generation capacity by the end of 2012. For achieving her target is to make state a power surplus state by 2017, for which the state is already executing power projects with a total capacity of 10,000 megawatts. After coming to power in 2007, Mayawati wrote letters to the Prime Minister regarding partitioning of Uttar Pradesh into 4 different states in 2007, in March 2008 and December 2009. Finally, on the 15th of November 2011, Mayawati's cabinet approved partitioning Uttar Pradesh into 4 different states for better administration and governance. On the 6th of March 2012, the Bahujan Samaj Party lost its majority to the Samajwadi Party, and Mayawati tendered her resignation to the governor of Uttar Pradesh the next day, thereby becoming the first CM to complete full 5 years into office. On the 13th of March 2012, she filed nomination papers for the Rajya Sabha, and she was declared elected unopposed on the 22nd of March. Personal life. Mayawati is widely regarded as a self-made woman politician that began a political career at the cost of her own struggle, hard work and capabilities. Unlike many women politicians in India like Indira Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi that rose to the top due to nepotism and dynastic politics, Mayawati chose to remain unmarried so as to serve people from the weaker sections of society and to ensure that her political opponents would not accuse her of nepotism. Kanshi Ram praised Mayawati at her 47th birthday celebrations for her fundraising activities on behalf of the party. He stated that the party's eventual goal is to gain power at the national level, and that Mayawati's efforts had helped in that quest. Her birthdays have since become major media events at which she has appeared laden with diamonds. Her supporters have declared her birthday as Jan Kalyankari Dilwas. In 2009, the day was marked by the announcement of welfare schemes targeted towards poor and downtrodden people of the state, and, in 2010, by the launch of social programs with a value of over 7,312 crore rupees. In 2007-08, Mayawati paid 26.26 crore rupees as income tax. She was at number 20 in IT department's compilation of the top 200 taxpayers list, with names like Shah Rukh Khan and Sachin Tendulkar as they top the list in the respective fields. Most of her income comes as gifts from her faithful supporters of Bahujan movement started by Kanshi Ram. She paid 15 crore rupees in advance tax in April to December 2007, when BSP workers garlanded Mayawati with currency notes on the occasion of the party's Silver Jubilee celebrations, coinciding with BSP founder Kanshi Ram's birth anniversary on March 15, 2010. Indian news channels and newspapers purported to expose the event as a scandal on the presumption that the chief minister had publicly committed an act of corruption that was being flaunted openly, and declaring that the garland of currency notes was made from money through corrupt means and not from donations of Bahujan Samaj Party supporters. Is Mayawati, her ministers and supporters claimed. Media outlets kept daring her to disclose the source of the money, but gave her hardly any time to propagating their own belief of ill-gotten money. Each reporter or channel was having its own estimate of the amount of cash woven into the garland, in the range from 2 crore rupees to 51 crore rupees even, when Mayawati's supporters kept claiming that it was worth 21 lakh rupees. None of the channels accepted that, making it clear that they were not interested in the issue but only in Mayawati baiting. This all went on viral till next day, when Mayawati came out and wore another garland made from currency notes offered by her supporters, and this acted as a shock treatment, and thus, this issue began to be ending. Media channels never lost an opportunity to bash Mayawati, as it was titillating for a large section of the Indian middle and upper classes. At Kanshi Ram's funeral ceremonies in 2006, Mayawati stated that both Kanshi Ram and herself had been, and she would continue to be, observant of Buddhist traditions and customs. She has stated her intention to formally convert to Buddhism when the political conditions enable her to become Prime Minister of India. Her act of performing the last rites was an expression of the views against gender discrimination. When she was Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, she publicly called bhikkhus to prayer.